Leslie with Parenting Paused, and this week I am contemplating and deeply touched by the preciousness of life. Now, I found that very hard sometimes when I was in the middle of my parenting journey and reality looked different than I wanted it to. I wanted, as I always say, instead of being in reality, I wanted my daughter to be different. I wanted to be different. I wanted our time together to be different. And in that wanting that was so strong, I often lost the preciousness of what was right in front of my face. So I like to say, when we want something or we don't want something, in some way we're refusing to be intimate with reality and to find the preciousness in that reality, especially when it's challenging to our conditioning, to our ideas, to our hearts. Whatever it is, it can be so challenging when we have an idea and then we step into, well, if only my child would be this way, or if only I had done something different, then maybe they would be that way. And if only I work harder or read more books or do more things on the parenting journey, then I maybe will be able to find that preciousness. Now, I know for me, I was seeking that deep preciousness because that's when the heart opens, when I am witnessing or experiencing, perceiving the preciousness of the experience that I'm having. Now, this is challenging because that doesn't mean that it's a beautiful experience always or a happy experience. Some of the deepest experiences that we can have are heart-opening. And this week, play with this. Just see if you can notice, if you're in a hard place especially, and if you keep hearing yourself say, well, I want it to be different. I want my child to be different. I don't want to be here. Especially if it's a difficult place that you feel like you're sitting. Take a little time, slow everything down, and see if you can find the preciousness in this moment. It doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean anything other than life is precious. And often we're seeking so much outside or going into our past. We're just always seeking for something to be better, to look better. And then something happens to remind us of the deep preciousness of life. And then often we step into, well, if only I had done this or not done this. And yet in that if only, we miss the preciousness. And of course, we're trying to control the reality when we say if only, because often the reality can feel like it's not precious. It can feel so difficult and not right and not good. And yet, if we really tap in to reality without our judgments, without our perceptions, there is a deep core of preciousness. Now, this has been my experience. So again, I don't want to tell you that. Explore this weekend or whenever you're listening. Just explore if you're willing to step out of the I want it to be different or I don't want it to be this way, and see if as you sit down in the present, especially if it's challenging, opening your heart to your preciousness, see if you can find, even if it's just for 5 seconds, a moment of the preciousness of being alive, being human, being able to experience the full experience of humanness, not just the happy-go-lucky or the good, which we're always striving for, reaching for. Just to sit down in that preciousness of your heart, your child's, your being, that you are here to have the full experience of life, not just the happy, the whole enchilada, as they say. So take some time to give yourself a moment to open and to experience your preciousness. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.